I don't hear shit.
We're the pretty girl, by the way.
What? I didn't see a pretty girl. I wasn't paying attention.
She showed up like 3 times.
Oh, Princess what's her fuck?
No, we were not a princess.
Bring it up to like...
Did you pause it?
No.
Did it freeze?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
If you click away from it, it freezes. Okay, that's fine. Now we get the copyright. Okay.
If we need to cut it, we can cut it.
No, it's fine. Okay. How you doing, everybody? My name is Kinesis, and welcome to Kyoto Wins. Shut up, cat. Okay. We're gonna play an Otome game. I guess it's just a Japanese dating simulator. That's pretty much all I get out of that. It's like a visual novel, dating sim kind of a thing. I don't know how much choice you really have in it, but like... this is happening. My wife, Carly, loves to play a Otome game. And so, she started playing this one, and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop. And then weeks later, hi, cat. Oh, buddy. Peter. Peter, you dramatic bitch. Anyway, so we're gonna just... we're gonna play this game. Please press the start button. I'll just click. Record of service? I guess we'll just start a new game. Do I need to, like, listen to the music? Is it that important, or...?
I can't remember if there's voice acting or not.
Well, we'll find out in a minute. Let me just keep my headphones on and we'll find out. Alright, our last name is Yuki... Our
last name is Yukimura.
Yukimura. Our given name is going to be... let's do...
just pick like a Japanese...
Spadaddle. Our name's Spadaddle.
Okay, glad to know you're good.
Our name is Spadaddle. I prefer to be called... you can just call me Yuki, or Yukimura. Yukimura. Mura?
Yukimura.
Yukimura. Confirmed! Spadaddle!
Usually when I play these games, if it's Japanese based, I'll go with Otome as my name. And if it's like American based, I'll go with like something like Mora.
Ooh, 1864 prologue. I don't know why he's screaming. Has he been fed this morning? I didn't feed him this morning.
We're good.
So, this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive.
No, denying it. God, is there a way to speed up the fucking text?
Even simple hellos between people passing in the street seemed warm and friendly. They nodded and smiled to one another as if family and not strangers about on errands. Still, there was something else as well. Something making the city feel strangely cold. Almost as though there was a great invisible... can I have fun? Shutting out anyone wandering from the country.
I'm not sure if I belong here. No,
Is it a
that's
clip?
all in my head.
It's a clip.
I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and both my mind and body were exhausted,
Which is why I was talking like this, but then I had some coffee and I warmed myself up. Even so, tiredness was no reason to meander and feel sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to, ellipsis.
Excuse me?
I hesitantly stopped a passerby.
I'm sorry, I seem to be a bit lost. Could you...
Question mark? What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I sighed and looked up at a darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set.
People I'd spoken to showed me no unkindness, and they'd given me directions I needed, but was now really the best time to leave the city? Learning the person I'd hoped to visit had left town caused hope to seep from my crumbling resolve. The only person besides Father I could rely on in the city who I could rely on. Dr. Matsumoto! Koto Yukimura! A Dutch-educated doctor in service to the shogunate and father of the protagonist. He has been missing since shortly after his arrival in Kyoto. Okay. Dr. Matsumoto was a doctor serving the shogunate, a military government run by samurai. Okay. Specifically talking about the Tokugawa shogunate. I'd never met him myself, but my father put a great deal of trust in the man. He had told me that if I ran into any trouble in his absence, I was to contact Dr. Matsumoto. Unfortunately, Dr. Matsumoto was out on business and should not, on a boat, return for some time. Every time I see Fadiddle Yukimura, it kills me. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. It is indeed rude to visit without warning, which is why I had sent a letter prior to my arrival. But it seems he had left before reading my letter. Perhaps, I thought, I should have waited for a reply before traveling to an unfamiliar city. But I can no longer spend time waiting idly for news.
You did this to yourself.
The main character of the story. She travels to Kyoto. This is Fadiddle. And she consequently finds herself involved with a Shinsen. Are you gonna do the father's voice? Is something wrong, father?
Click it, please.
He paused for a moment and looked at me.
It seems I must depart for the city of Kyoto.
There is voice acting.
Okay, well there you go. There's voice acting.
Is it for business again? He'd left the house often during that period. Sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone, father? It's in Japanese. You can still do your voice.
I'm afraid I can't say. A month perhaps, maybe 2.
Oh, father, it seems like your voice got fixed. Oh, there was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous.
As opposed to now, when it's pretty much a tourist destination.
He only smiled and nodded.
You needn't fret.
I like your first voice better.
I will be sure to send you letters often so that you will have no need to worry.
Okay, you promise? Oh shit, he disappeared! Oh fuck! Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived so often I scarcely had time to respond before another would arrive. He told me that he worried about me being home all by myself. Then, the letter stopped. A whole month passed with no word. I can only assume he's dead. Oh god, it's nighttime. I'm still outside. Father. They say Kyoto is full of who have left their master or have been stripped of their privileges. You can also refer to a samurai who does not have a master. A lone warrior. It's not a safe place. Usually, the samurai is paid by their house, but Ronin who report to no house often rob people in order to make ends meet. They're nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of the samurai. Let's date a bunch. Such is the state of the city of Kyoto, the city of Ronin. Small wonder, then, that I worried for my father. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I often found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Lost in thought, I didn't notice nightfall descend. Well, shit. Guess I'll die.
Like sunk down.
If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the faintest idea of how long searching for him would take. I'd
didn't think this through, but
brought a negligible sum of money with me, enough to last me a month if used wisely. Yeah, negligible. A month's worth of money. Finding father in this window of time was a must. Otherwise, I would have to depend on Dr. Masamoto returning in this time, or else I'd be forced to return home. Well, at any rate, I should try and be as frugal as possible. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Then I fell in a hole. Fortunately for me, men's clothing assisted with keeping a quicker pace than women's. Kyoto presented many dangers to a young girl hoping to explore the city without direction. My disguise, such as it was, proved successful, and I'd safely made it all the way to Kyoto. Such success went to my head and led me to believe I could explore Kyoto as I pleased. But Kyoto is not a safe place. I should have remembered that, even though I've said it about 1 billion times.
Is this being told in retrospect?
Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that the city's hidden dangers didn't apply.
Hey, kid.
I was about to discover otherwise. I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 Ronin, and they all looked like one dude. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice calm, reaching nonchalantly for my Katachi! That's a short... Okay, I thought so. It was a short sword. My father encouraged me to take sword lessons. I'd kept with them, and I did rather well. I was confident enough in defending myself. However, perhaps my overconfidence in myself is what served the situation at hand to me. I'd messed up and let my guard down. My fault. There was a chance I could take them on, but there were 3 of them.
Pretty nice blade you got there, kid.
Only then did I realize they were far more interested in my sword than they were in me. Oh, these are like 3 different guys.
looks like a bit much for a pup like this, right?
Give it here, okay? We'll put it to good use. But this is... The sword wasn't just some blade I'd picked up. It was a family heirloom spanning generations. There was no way I could give it up to the Ronin. Though, I had a feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was undoubtedly to run away! I turned and ran as fast as my legs could.
Hey, get back here, you little bastard!
I forgot who was whose voice.
Me too.
Womp womp.
Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I felt like I'd been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin cursing loudly.
Shit!
Fuck.
Ass!
Balls. I ducked into an alley, flattening against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept further into the alley. Someone left a couple sheets of wood leaning against one of the houses, a perfect hiding spot. What luck, I thought, kneeling down under them. This is my way to escape this mess. Huh? I was listening for sounds intently. A suspicious calm entered my mind. I'd expected to hear the Ronin yelling to each other looking for me, but seconds turned into minutes. I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and have a look. Oh god! This is a new person, I think.
No, it's one of the guys.
It's one of the guys? Oh, What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was more important. Still. Damn you!
What is this? Why won't you die? Damn it! We gotta get out of here!
It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something dangerous out there. It's probably a furry. Something quite possibly lethal.
Like a furry.
Like a furry. My imagination conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories.
Maybe even a scaly.
Even so, I could feel an itch of curiosity.
Are there fantasy creatures in this game?
I didn't get that far.
Are there, do we get to be a monster fucker?
I don't think so.
I hope we get to be a monster fucker.
I wanted to know what was out there. Carefully, I peeked around the corner's edge. The cold reflection of moonlight upon a blade glared at me, and my eyes folded to the arm that held clad in coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no slower than it appeared, my hope vanished. We already got the laugh from voice acting, so...
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Help! I heard the Ronin stumbling to beg for his life. The person in the blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised. Oh, God! Jesus!
I'm assuming there's a scream.
Yeah.
Okay.
And laughing. A high, screeching laugh cut the man's scream. Oh my God! The blade fell through the air like a butcher's knife rather than a sword. No skill, just death. The scream turned wet, caught, and disappeared like air leaving half-empty bellows. Jesus Christ, this took a fucking turn! My eyes went wide. I had just witnessed a murder. A murder? Any strength I received vanished quickly. My legs gave way and I crumbled to the ground. My eyes widened like busted shells. He died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades fell, carving lines into the corpse. The soft slip of a blade through flesh. The sight... Jesus. Oh.
These are for girls.
There we go. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw, animalistic violence. Whatever they were, it wasn't human. They were. I could feel my throat clenched tightly and a warm, dark smell brushed against my face. I slowly recognized the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I going to do? What could I do? You have to run for Diddle. I have to run for Diddle. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. Stop it! This was the only chance I'd get. I had to. Dash dash. My body, still numb with fear, was unresponsive. I lurched sideways against the stacked wood, and with a rough clatter, it collapsed. The sound effect again was like a little sound. Oh my goodness! They're zombies! What? The creatures turned. Oh, there's multiples. Okay, I see. Coats drenched in blood. Their eyes locked with mine and bore into me. Hideous grins split their inhuman faces, shaking with excitement and prey to slaughter. I had to run. I couldn't die yet. I hadn't quite yet learned how to scream, but my legs refused to move. Their hideous cackling laughter echoed. I was going to die, and then the game will be over. I don't have to play anymore.
Hey.
Yeah, we're frozen with terror. Can't scream. Got it. This was it. This was the end. Except it's not. Swing, swing, anime! Oh, God. I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light and the soft splash of blood. Oh, if you're talking about a soft splash of blood, then it must be a good guy who spilled it. I could feel it warm and sticky on my butt. Bile began to rise in my throat and in my butt. But before disgust took hold, I heard a voice from my butt.
Really?
The words suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy.
And here I was trying to take care of them all. Can't you have picked another day to work fast, Saito?
As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he were enjoying himself. Give me your best, give me your best Sasuke impression.
You know I haven't watched.
You haven't watched Naruto. Give me a good Zuko.
I only did my job. Unlike you, I take no
Oh god, they're so hot.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. Hey, Wahid.
You don't even bother to deny.
Doesn't his name mean fight? Doesn't Hajime mean fight? Or begin? The man, I'm sure Troy is gonna correct us as soon as he sees this. The man called Saito laughed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked at... Oh, yes.
Maybe, but if you just sat back and let them kill the kid, you could have saved us some trouble.
His tone was light, but it confirmed my fears. I may have escaped the schemes of the Ronin, but I was ensnared by something much darker.
Perhaps a decision is not ours to make.
Huh? Then, who was in charge of these two? Their conversation led me to believe they were part of an organization. As I thought about it, I recalled hearing about men with blue coats. My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view. It's the Mothman. It's the Mothman.
It's the main lead.
I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone off his smooth, dark hair for reasons I couldn't fathom. In that moment, the light on his hair made me think of the wistfulness of flower. God, this dramatic bitch. It was almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season. Oh, okay.
Luck is not your friend tonight.
His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Blue-white moonlight slit his slender face and shone from the blade pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword making my breath catch. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, and somewhere behind them, something even harder. I could catch a glimpse of something else. He's got a huge boner. It just zooms out more. He's just got a giant boner.
This is a horrible idea.
There could be no doubt that he was prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. No kindness, but perhaps mercy?
Run, and I will kill you. Do you understand?
I nodded. There was no doubt he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced, put his sword away, sighing. This music is dramatic as fuck.
What?
I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one.
What? Wait, Hijikata? Are you sure about this? This kid saw everything. That can't be good.
As he spoke to the man he called Hijikata, his eyes narrowed. Fuck! The man called Hijikata frowned back at him.
If you keep that up, you know what we're gonna have to do. Ellipsis.
It was clear enough that what I'd seen was something they wanted to keep hidden. The more they said, the more I got it, and it was clear none of us wanted such a thing.
I really think it's gonna come back to bite us in the ass if we let this kid go.
The way he looked at me made me feel as if he'd read my mind.
So, we should just kill people now. No. I'll see what to do with this kid when we get back.
I agree with the commander. If we remain here, we are likely to be seen again.
Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed, as though he'd forgotten the horror.
If they have this sort of reaction to blood, and they don't seem to... If they have this sort of reaction to blood, then they don't seem like they'll be very practical.
You okay there? You kind of had yourself a bit of a seizure.
Damn.
He peered down at the corpse, his face an emotionless mask. When he looked back up at his companions, however, his eyes narrowed. They narrowed.
As for you two, drop the Hijikata and Commander Pact. Keep a low profile.
What? Come on, you can't be serious. Aren't our blues a bit of a giveaway?
He was right. Even I had heard stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down on the streets, but I didn't know how to confront the dilemma of pretending I didn't see any of these horrors.
Oh, it's because I keep accidentally clicking down at the bottom. Oh, the screen is like the wrong fucking, there's like a weird situation going on with the screen. I wonder if I can fix that.
We can figure it out later.
Hold on, let me...
A world aware there is nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night with corpses for company.
死体の処理はいかように。肉体的な異常は特に現れていないようですが。
What shall we do with the bodies then? There doesn't seem to be any physical signs.
Hijikata thought for a moment before he
羽
spoke.
織だけ脱がせとけ。あとは
Just
観察の方で。
Just take their blues. Yamazaki can deal with the rest.
承知しました。
As you wish.
新選組の大使が切り殺さ
Another
れて
man
る
cut down in the street, huh? Doing a great job, aren't we?
He gave a derisive bark of laughter.
ま、あとはここにいた奴が黙ってりゃ世間も勝手になっちゃ
So
う
long as we keep our mouths shut, I don't think anyone will know we were here.
Thank you, Peter.
Did you see his little tail go past the screen? Hey!
He looked directly at me, and I got the distinct feeling his words weren't for his companions. It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It was a dangerous city, after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen, that was something else entirely.
It's a dangerous city. We've only been told about 6 times.
Yeah, if death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought that the city itself must surely be mad.
It's almost like they had a word count to reach.
ところでさ、
Oh, yes, we did save you, didn't we?
Huh? I didn't realize right away he was speaking to me. When I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean? You saved me. Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they saved my life. I stood up as steadily as I could manage, brushed some dirt off my clothes, and bowed. Oh, thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking you earlier. There was so much going on, I was a little confused.
Shouldn't I voice the girl?
I'm the main character. You get to voice all the hot people that I get to date.
Okay, here.
I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Hajime also looked confused. His eyes were wide and he had an expression I couldn't place. Hijikata looked as though he had taken a bite of something sour. I sighed deeply before continuing.
I know it seems weird to say that, but he told me I should say thanks, so I
looked up. Saito and Hijikata both stared pointedly at anything but me, and the third man was shaking with laughter.
ごめんごめん。そうだよね。
Oh, man. Well,
僕が言
my
ったんだもん
apologies.
ね。
I certainly did tell you to, didn't I?
He broke out in laughter again, so much so that he was forced to wipe a few tears from his eyes as he straightened up.
どういたしまして。僕は沖田
Well,
総司と
you're
言います
welcome. I'm Soji Okita. Nice to see a kid who knows how to be polite.
Thank you for helping me.
Why am I just Marley again from our Dream Daddy? I'm just Marley again.
Not quite sure what else to do, I bowed again.
君を助けてくれたのが斎
The
藤
one
はじ
you
め
should be thanking for saving you is Hajime Saito over there. And this bossy guy here is...
わざわざ紹介してんじゃねえよ。
Still
What
you.
the hell do you think you're doing, Okita?
部長。お気持ちはわかりますが、まず移
Sir.
動を。
Click it. Sir, I read your concern, but we must move.
Whatever mirth was inspired was gone. The man called Saito now spoke with quiet urgency. The man named Okita grabbed hold of my wrist, smiled, and led us down the street. His grip was a touch too tight to be friendly, his fingers like iron cables around my arm. Don't. There was no question about my situation. I quickly picked up the notion that if I were to run, I would be killed. Instantly!
Insta-kill.
Insta-kill! My life was in the hands of these strange men. I set my jaw and stood up as straight as I could. My eyes crept up from the blood-stained coat and met Saito's gaze.
己のために最悪を
It
想
would
定
be
して
best if you prepared for the worst. I doubt this will end well for you.
Jesus, dude. His words were like a dagger in my stomach. What was going to happen to me? Was I going to die? As we walked through the bleak Kyoto night, I felt horror crawl its way up my spine once again. The cause of my horror wasn't the gruesome end that awaited me, but something else entirely. I spoke with these men and watched them speak, standing next to a warm corpse soaked in blood. That I had done such a thing terrified me in an altogether different way. Perhaps this was what it's like to go mad! Perhaps we have gone mad. We'll find that out on the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please go kick tomorrow's butt. Thank you, Carly, for joining us. Are you enjoying yourself?
I regret this. I regretted it maybe 3 minutes into it. I was like, oh yeah, he doesn't know how to be serious.
How do you get to the menu? Is there like a...
I don't know. You did it like 7 times during the thing, so
Oh, so now we get the opening thing.
yeah. Hey. Woo.
Yeah, we got through the
I'm
prologue.
gonna listen to it this time. Alright, see you next time, guys.
Okay, yeah, bye.